Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're already now in the middle of August, which means in just about 2 weeks now, the worldwide celebration will be taking place for both Global and JP Dokkan. Now, for those new to the game who do not know what I am talking about, the worldwide celebration is one of the bigger kind of celebrations within the year. And actually, I do have the timeline of events pulled up here for last year in Dokkan, right? So if we look at the timeline of Dokkan for last year, we go into last August and we scroll to the end of August, we will find that the part 1 for last year's worldwide celebration took place at the end of the month right here with the release of AGL Vegito Blue and Tech Corrupted Zamasu. Now, since it is basically around the corner, many are naturally very excited. I mean, worldwide celebration, they usually give us a lot of EZAs during the celebration, along with 4 new LRs, and everyone is already trying to throw out ideas for what the theme will be for the celebration as a whole, except for Dokkan. Dokkan right now, they are keeping everything quiet on their end. They have not put out any sort of teaser or any sort of information regarding the theme of the celebration as a whole. Now, in their defense, they usually put out some sort of teaser sometime around this week, right? So there is still time, but while we are waiting to see what Dokkan is actually going to show us for the worldwide celebration, I figured right now is a great chance for us to just have a moment to sit down, have some fun, and speculate on our own what the worldwide celebration theme very well could look like. Now, before I go ahead and start listing off ideas, I want you all to go ahead and comment down below, what do you want to see for the theme of this year's worldwide celebration? And more specifically, what characters or units would you like to see come during the worldwide celebration campaign in its entirety? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. I would love to see what sort of ideas you guys are cooking up. And I mean, who knows? We may have the same ideas, we may have entirely different ideas, but until Dokkan decides to put out some official information, all of our ideas have a chance of happening. So let me know what you guys are thinking will happen in the comments down below. Alrighty, so now we can go ahead and start talking about some of the ideas for the worldwide celebration theme. But first, I want to show you guys a graphic that I used to help me as I came up with some of these ideas. So right here, I have the graphic pulled up, but this graphic is showing us all of the featured units released from 2019 all the way to 2021. And so this includes, TURs like Trunks and Zamasu, and even LRs like MUI and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. And what you will notice is that all of the grayed out characters are ones who have already received an EZA. And in contrast, the characters who still have colored portraits like Tech Broly right here, like Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Vegeta, like Int Broly over here, they are units who are still awaiting an EZA from Dokkan. So I just want you guys to understand that when I tried to come up with some ideas for the various themes, a main item that influenced my kind of train of thought, if you will, was looking at this pool of units who are still kind of awaiting their EZAs. So when we talk about some of the themes going forward in the video, you'll see me kind of come back to this kind of a graphic here just to talk about some of the different EZAs that could be paired up with the different themes. Okay, so now we can start off with one of the more highly anticipated themes, I would say, from the Dokkan community, which is GT. And since we do not have a standalone GT category, I went ahead and I pulled up GT heroes and GT bosses for us. But I mean, when we look at the idea for GT being the theme, it's an idea with a great deal of merit, because it has been some time since our last major GT release took place. I mean, the last 2 notable releases we got were Omega Shenron and Super Saiyan 4 Tanabata Goku, and both of those came out last year. So again, it has been some time since GT has received some sort of glow up. Now, when I look at the theme for the celebration as a whole and kind of the more specific focus that we could see for the worldwide celebration, the idea that kind of comes to mind for me is the Super 17 arc. Not only because our last 2 notable releases include Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the Baby arc and Omega Shenron from the Shadow Dragon arc, but also because when we go back to the graphic and we look at some of the EZAs that could be seen for the GT kind of related theme, we see units like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, we see Super Saiyan GT Goku, Super Saiyan GT Vegeta, and also Super 17. So, I mean, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does kind of fall outside of the Super 17 arc, but still, you could argue GT Goku, GT Vegeta, you could argue that they can, be thrown in to a Super 17 specific kind of focus, and then obviously, Super 17, he could get an EZA that will be, perfectly kind of thrown in there for the GT kind of theme. So, I mean, there is a great deal of opportunity for Dokkan to kind of cash in, if you will, on the GT saga being the main focus, the main theme of the worldwide celebration. Now, me personally, I will say that, GT, it would be a very cool theme, and it could be very likely, but I would actually prefer if they stayed away from GT, because during the 10th year anniversary, we are going to get the EZA for the 7th year anniversary Super Saiyan 4s. So I would prefer if we waited on any sort of GT upgrades until the 10th year anniversary took place, because there's likely going to be another power creep, and I would like GT to kind of embrace power altogether with all the different units. So I would kind of like for them to hold off on that, but still, nevertheless, GT is a theme with a great deal of merit, with a great deal of possibilities, and if Dokkan wanted to, they could definitely cash in on the GT theme being the theme for the worldwide celebration. Now next up, and by the way, this is in no particular order, but next up we have the Androids/Cell Saga. Now this is actually an idea that I'm not seeing too much backing for, but nevertheless there is a possibility that we could see Cell Saga for the theme of the Worldwide Celebration campaign. And the reason I mainly say that is because there are still several EZAs that we are waiting on to be done. Specifically, if we go here, we see Transforming Trunks, we see the Androids, and we see Future Gohan and Future Trunks right here. So 3 notable units still awaiting their EZAs. Now, frankly, I will say myself that I don't think Cell Saga is likely going to be the theme of the celebration. I think GT is far more likely to happen than Cell Saga, but it is worth acknowledging Cell Saga having a potential opportunity to be the theme, just based off the fact that we are still missing a couple EZAs, and that could be the excuse that Dokkan needs to make Cell Saga the theme of the celebration as a whole. Alright, now next up we have the Planet Namek Saga, and this is a theme with a great deal of potential. Obviously, if this were to happen for the Worldwide Celebration campaign, it means that we could likely see a Kaioken Goku, and more importantly, a Final Form Frieza. It has been a fat minute since we have seen a Final Form Frieza, but you know, if Worldwide Celebration's theme was Planet Namek Saga, that would be the perfect chance to make that happen. And, you know, aside from that, I mean, there's a lot of EZAs that could happen for Planet Namek Saga. We have the 2 Worldwide Celebration units right here with Full Power Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku. And then we also have Gohan and Krillin and LR Vegeta, who exchanges into Goku. So there is a lot of potential for a massive, massive glow up for the Planet Namek Saga. But at the same time, I think a lot of people also have reservations on the reality of this being the theme of the Worldwide Celebration. Again, we just don't know. We have to wait to see what Dokkan has to say about it themselves. But it's worth mentioning that there is a lot of potential for the Planet Namek Saga category if it ends up being the theme of the celebration. We just have to wait and see if that is exactly what Dokkan is going to do, or if they're going to likely go into another direction. Now, the final idea I want to talk about in this vid is movies, specifically Dragon Ball Z movies, because if we look at the graphic, we see a lot of units who are due for EZAs belonging to some Dragon Ball Z movie. We see Tech LR Broly right here. We see Turles and his squadron, we see Bojack, we see Gohan, we see Pikkon, Janemba, another Janemba right here, Tech Gogeta, Goku and Piccolo, Tapion and Minosha in Broly, Goten, Trunks, and Krillin. So there are a lot of opportunities for them to lean into Dragon Ball Z movie EZAs and Dragon Ball Z movies in general, which is why I think it is most likely that they are going to be doing a movies theme for this year's Worldwide Celebration campaign. Now, to kind of lean into that a bit more, I will say this is probably the best thing, because movie bosses and movie heroes got some love indirectly, right? Movie heroes, of course, through Beast Gohan, through Gogeta, through Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, and for movie bosses through Cell Max and the Dragon Ball Super Broly. But both categories could use a bit more love, I would say, in order to become really good again, so this would be a great opportunity for them to do just that. Now, the question then becomes, what is the focus that they're going to be emphasizing for the whole kind of movie theme? And for me personally, the idea that I'm kind of hoping they will do is Dragon Ball Z Broly, where basically they do part 1 being the first Broly movie, and they make us get an EZA for the end Broly right here, and then part 2 they give us Broly's second coming, give us a new family Kamehameha, give us a new Broly perhaps, and give us a new EZA for this Tech LR Broly as well. And then hey, I mean, if they want to do a part 2.5, then maybe they can also throw in an EZA for Goten, Trunks, and Krillin right there. So that's just kind of what I'm hoping for, that's kind of what I'm expecting will happen. But again, we'll have to wait and see what Dokkan has to say, because until they put out some sort of official news, all of this is still speculatory and just kind of hopeful, to say the least. In any case though guys, that's going to do it for the vid. If you guys liked it, of course, hit the like button down below, subscribe as well so you can see more vids like this in the future, and again, comment down below what do you want to see from this year's Worldwide Celebration campaign regarding the theme and the characters for the whole kind of celebration. And again, feel free to check out some of the other vids I have on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.